when there is any inclination that whether a region cannot be trusted or a people, it just breaks. It doesn't move forward from there, because again, trade and investment happens before you actually see money, physical money anywhere. So please, let's take note of that as we engage. The other thing that I see as a major, major barrier and a derailer is that when people do not have a service mindset. So for you to be a successful trade facilitator, you need to come into every engagement from a service mindset. What do I mean by that? What I mean to say is you have to see it as I am here to be of service to the buyer, to the seller, to the trade financing institution, to the government. When you come into a room with people are here to serve me, you just see people running away. you just see you just see people bypassing you. You then wonder why are they not engaging? It's because everybody has their own personal agenda. But the people that actually win when it comes to trade and investment facilitation are people who come to the conversation with a service mindset, because people can trust them to design a deal that is a win-win-win situation. A lot of times when we engage and I see people on the continent coming and approaching and attending, and when you engage with them, the initial interaction is such, it's unpleasant in the sense of, you know, they are not going to do a win-win. It's a win-lose. Meaning you want to winner take all. I win, you lose. I win, everybody else loses. That mindset may work in a local market, meaning you can transact locally and win and go and win and go without putting the interest of others into consideration. Well, when you go regionally and you go internationally, globally, that mindset cracks and it doesn't work. The reason is because, let's just give an example. You're in Ghana and you want to transact with somebody in Ethiopia. Until the person in Ethiopia finds a reason that they are going to win if they work with you, then they're not going to work with you. Because international and regional trade is about I win, you as a partner win, we all win. And that's what drives international trade and regional trade. So that's something to watch out for, is that as you engage with people, be clear on what you want, be clear on what you can, be even more clearer on what you can do for them. That is the game of international trade, is that you cannot go into engagement or negotiations with, I want to take everything. I want to take all the opportunity. This is my opportunity. In fact, I want your opportunity to be my opportunity. I want to leave this table with 100% benefit, and I don't even care if you win. That mindset moves people away from people, and you cannot advance. Because the other thing about international trade is, you might think international trade is such a big space, but to be honest, the people in international markets, they actually know each other. They know each other very well. So as you're stepping into that space, just make sure that you know, you don't want the word on the street to be say, hey, don't work with that person, right? So those are just some things to watch out for. The other derailer is really depth of knowledge, in terms of when people start talking to you and you are making promises. They can quickly tell if this is, you are making a promise you cannot keep. Because I'm telling you, you have to really, really beef up on your acumen. And that's one of the things we do at Nazaru with our community. We feed our community a lot of content, because I want a scenario where when we bring each other together, our community is the most mature people in the room, that they are able to take advantage, that people are like, whoa, How did you know that? Continental Free Trade Agreement, how come you're way ahead of most? And that's why if you see our engagement, we bring the most brilliant minds on the continent, we bring them together. We even show you the future of trade through West Rock Coffee, through our presentation, through, like last year, we had the African Continental, the African Union, the team that put together the Continental Free Trade Agreement. They actually flew into Chicago to educate us, to present to us. So our goal as at Nazaru is to say the people that follow our work, our community members must be knowledgeable. They must be savvy, and I'm committed. And that's even why this masterclass, we put this masterclass together, is that we want our community to be well informed, to be able to capture opportunities. So I hope you are, I mean, I already know everybody on this class, you are committed to knowledge. So thank you. So give yourself a round of applause for even showing up, because this opportunity was presented to hundreds and thousands of people around the world. But you guys, you really do show that you're committed to knowledge, and knowledge is power. The other thing that people do check out, okay, is your background and your experience. Now, I mean, Google is is in the hands of everybody. You know, when you're in one of our events, or even right now during this engagement or anything we do, people are passing business cards. The first thing people just Google is your name. Who is this person? What's your background? Where are you coming from? What do you know? Like, where are you coming from? Why should I work with you? People do it to me constantly, and that's okay. I do it to people as well, to say, if we want to talk about trade and investments, let me check out your background. So it's so important to make sure. So I want to be clear, there are two groups of people: those that are already in this space, so your background is already in this space. But there are also, I see a lot of new people trying to venture into this space. So you're actually building your background right now, the background that supports trade and investment. So what I would encourage you to do is one of the things we'll share, to be patient, is commit 1, 2, 3 years to serving other people, to supporting other people. That is the fastest way to learn. You know, the fastest way to learn is to engage and see what other people are doing, and then start building your resume. Okay. And then start building your resume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And then you'll be better positioned, but you can stay engaged. And for me, it's also part of those things. I'm sharing practical things here. So beef your background, your expertise, and start investing. If you're new, give yourself time as well. Um, the other thing is a weak professional network. You know, one thing I found is that a lot of times when people engage, they come and say, "Oh, we want to trade." But when you start engaging with them, you realize that uh, they don't have they don't have a strong network. And when it comes to international trade and regional trade, um, this your success is literally dependent oftentimes on who you know and who knows you. Because let's say you're trying to clear some goods, you're trying to move products, you're trying to secure financing, all of that. I tell people to do a test. You know, if you look at your cell phone and you look at your contact information, and you've not built a strong network that can support what it is you're trying to do, that's something you can start working on right now, is to make sure that whether on the business side, on the or on the political side, or even in the supply chain space. So a lot of times, you know, people I joke that sometimes people use us at Nazaru now as something like a Wikipedia or Google for trade. It's like, Towing, they ask me, okay, do you have a shipping company that can move products from here to here? I'm like, okay, here's the number. Okay, do you know who can help us to do this? I'm like, okay, no problem. You know, and a lot of times now, people now use us to do, and we are happy to help, but we only limit, and I'll share this at the end of our presentation, that we actually limit such introduction to clients and a group of people that we know we can vouch for. We know that they're going to go all the way, because again, like I said, lack of trust, we are not open to introducing people that we've not done our own due diligence for. So that's something you really, it's so important that